John Cena ruled WWE for over a decade, 16 world championships, record-breaking merchandise sales, and global fame like no one since Hulk Hogan. Love him or hate him, Cena wasn't just WWE's top star, he was WWE.
He was comfortable from day one.
Kid's freaking awesome.
Wow.
I mean, he's that good.
Yeah.
And he was from the get-go.
But his success came at a cost. His influence made WWE millions, but it also held the company hostage.
I'm sure the guys in the locker room hate Cena. I'm sure of it.
Fans got tired of the same stories, new wrestlers struggled to break through, and WWE couldn't escape his shadow. But how did Cena go from almost getting fired in 2002 to holding WWE hostage for the next decade? It all started with a young bodybuilder whose dream nearly ended before it even began. Long before he became the face of WWE, John Cena was just another struggling rookie trying to keep his job. Born in West Newbury, Massachusetts, Cena was always drawn to competition. He played football in high school and pursued a degree in exercise physiology at Springfield College, where he was an NCAA Division III All-American center. But his real passion wasn't on the field, it was in the gym. After graduation, Cena moved to California with just $500 in his pocket, determined to make it as a bodybuilder. He worked at Gold's Gym and even folded towels to make ends meet, but something was missing. That's when he discovered pro wrestling. Cena began training at Ultimate Pro Wrestling, UPW, a California-based promotion that had ties to WWE's developmental system. His chiseled physique and relentless work ethic caught the attention of WWE scouts, and in 2001, he was signed to a developmental contract. WWE shipped him off to Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW, where he trained alongside future stars like Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, and Batista. Cena was a natural athlete, but he had one major problem. He had no character. At the time, WWE was shifting away from the Attitude Era's edgy, rebellious storytelling and looking for new stars to carry the company into the future. Cena debuted on SmackDown in June 2002, answering an open challenge from Kurt Angle.
I'm John Cena. What is the one quality that you possess that makes you think that you can walk out here and come into the ring and face the very best in the business? Ruthless aggression.
He had a solid performance, but there was nothing special about him. He was just a generic, clean-cut babyface. Behind the scenes, Vince McMahon and WWE management quickly lost faith. Cena wasn't connecting with the audience, and by late 2002, he was dangerously close to getting released. But then, something happened. One unscripted moment that saved his career. While on a bus ride during a European tour, Cena started freestyling rap lyrics in front of the locker room. The talent around him laughed, but one person saw something bigger. Stephanie McMahon. She convinced WWE to let Cena lean into this new rap persona, giving birth to the Doctor of Thuganomics.
Numerous rappers rumored to be interested, including Fabulous.
That single off-the-cuff freestyle saved his career, and John Cena would never look back. But what started as a fun gimmick would soon turn into WWE's biggest blessing and biggest curse. The Doctor of Thuganomics didn't just save John Cena's career, it launched him into WWE superstardom. By late 2002, Cena had embraced his new rap persona, but it wasn't enough just to have a gimmick. He had to prove he could own the spotlight. That moment came on October 31st, 2002, during a special Halloween episode of SmackDown. In a backstage segment dressed as Vanilla Ice, Cena grabbed the microphone and delivered a sharp, unscripted freestyle promo, roasting his opponents and even WWE management. The segment was meant to be a throwaway joke, but Cena's delivery was so natural that the locker room and fans took notice. For the first time, Cena truly connected with the audience, and WWE realized they had something special. Suddenly, Cena went from a forgettable rookie to one of the most must-see characters on SmackDown. His brash, over-the-top insults targeted everyone, his opponents, the fans, even WWE legends.
Well, you rocking some phony pits. You just a fat slob with hairy baloney tits. I hop around all day like there's potatoes in your crack. That's a nice tattoo of your mother on your back.
He had a confidence that felt real, something WWE had been desperately searching for in its post-Attitude Era transition. Unlike his clean-cut debut, this version of Cena got reactions, even when he was supposed to be the villain. Fans started cheering him despite his heel persona, proving that WWE had something unique. But what really set Cena apart wasn't just his ability to talk, it was his work ethic. While other rising stars like Randy Orton and Batista were still finding their footing, Cena was already becoming WWE's most reliable performer. He worked every every house show, did endless media appearances, and put in extra hours refining his promo skills. His hard work paid off. By early 2003, Cena started getting bigger matches, and at WrestleMania 19, he was given a high-profile promo segment. Then came his first major championship win. At WrestleMania 20 in 2004, Cena defeated The Big Show to capture the United States Championship, his first taste of gold in WWE. But more importantly, it solidified his transition from an edgy mid-carder to a future main event star. But winning the US title was just the beginning. WWE had bigger plans for Cena, plans that would change the company forever. Could he handle the pressure? By 2004, WWE was at a crossroads. The Attitude Era was officially over, and the company was struggling to find a new generation of stars to carry the brand. The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, two of the biggest draws in wrestling history, were both gone, leaving a massive void at the top. WWE needed a new face, someone marketable, reliable, and larger than life. John Cena fit the mold perfectly. His Doctor of Thuganomics persona was still wildly popular, but WWE had bigger ambitions. The company wanted a star who could appeal to families, attract sponsors, and become a true mainstream icon. That meant Cena had to evolve. In late 2004, WWE began slowly phasing out Cena's edgier persona. The profanity-laced raps became less frequent, the rebellious attitude was toned down, and by 2005, Cena had fully transitioned into a classic good guy. Instead of cutting insult-filled promos, he began preaching about hustle, loyalty, and respect, a shift that made him WWE's most kid-friendly star since Hulk Hogan. But fans weren't just embracing Cena, they were rallying behind him. At WrestleMania 21 in April 2005, Cena had his biggest moment yet. He defeated JBL to win the WWE Championship, officially cementing his place as the new face of WWE. With the title around his waist, WWE fully committed to making Cena their top guy. He was positioned as the face of Raw, headlining every major event, leading the biggest storylines, and becoming the most heavily promoted wrestler on the roster. But with great success came great backlash. Fans had embraced Cena's rise, but they didn't realize just how dominant he would become. WWE had found its new golden boy, and soon it would be clear that Cena wasn't just leading WWE, he was taking complete control, and once he had it, WWE would never be the same again. By 2006, John Cena was untouchable. He was WWE champion, the top merchandise seller, the face of every promotional campaign, and the company's go-to media representative. WWE had fully transitioned into the PG era, and Cena was its centerpiece, a clean-cut, family-friendly hero straight out of a comic book. But something unexpected happened. As WWE pushed Cena to Hulk Hogan-like levels of dominance, hardcore fans started turning against him. It wasn't just because he was the face of the PG era, it was because he never lost. Match after match, Cena overcame impossible odds, defeating top stars like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Edge, and Kurt Angle in matches where he was heavily outnumbered or outmatched. His victories started feeling predictable, and instead of excitement, they brought frustration. The term SuperCena was born, because no matter the challenge, he always won. The backlash reached a boiling point in 2006 at ECW One Night Stand. Cena defended his WWE Championship against Rob Van Dam in front of one of the most hostile crowds in wrestling history. The ECW faithful despised everything Cena represented, and they let him know it. As soon as Cena walked into the Hammerstein Ballroom, the crowd erupted with "You Cena" chants.
Do you remember seeing a main event with a hotter crowd than that one? I mean, it was unbelievable.
No.
Fans threw his t-shirt back at him every time he tossed it into the crowd. That night, Cena was the villain, but WWE wasn't ready to accept it. Despite the growing resentment, WWE refused to turn Cena heel. He was simply too valuable. The company needed him to sell merchandise, lead PR efforts, and maintain its PG-friendly image. But by refusing to evolve Cena's character, WWE had created a new problem, one that would make Cena's dominance even more controversial. Because now, it wasn't just the fans frustrated with him, it was the wrestlers in the locker room too. Cena's WWE run continued, his influence behind the scenes grew stronger. He wasn't just the company's biggest star, he had become WWE's most protected asset. By the late 2000s, WWE had become completely dependent on him. Merchandise, Cena was the top seller year after year. Ratings, his segments consistently performed the best. Main event matches, Cena was almost always in the title picture. Because of this, WWE Creative did everything in their power to keep Cena looking strong. He was booked to win nearly every major feud, often at the expense of rising stars stars. If you were a new wrestler trying to break through, facing Cena was a double-edged sword. You might get TV time, but you weren't going to win. Some wrestlers even accused Cena of holding them back.
Cena's going to beat you both and go over, at which point I kind of thought he was joking.
The most infamous example was the Nexus storyline in 2010. The Nexus, a rebellious faction of young rookies led by Wade Barrett, was meant to be the next big thing in WWE. They dominated Raw, attacking legends, destroying rings, and making an impact like few groups before them. But at SummerSlam 2010, WWE booked Cena to overcome the odds yet again, eliminating both Justin Gabriel and Wade Barrett in the final moments, right after taking a DDT on exposed concrete. In a post-match interview, even Chris Jericho and Edge, two WWE veterans, admitted that Cena's win killed Nexus's momentum and that he refused to let WWE change the finish.
Getting DDT'd on an exposed concrete floor and kicking out of that, and for whatever reason, they were stuck on it, and John was really stuck on it.
And this wasn't an isolated case. Rusev was undefeated for a full year before facing Cena at WrestleMania 31, only to lose clean and never regain his momentum. Bray Wyatt, one of the most creative characters WWE had seen in years, lost to Cena at WrestleMania 30, a decision that stalled his rise to true superstardom. WWE had built the company around John Cena, but in doing so, they had created a system that revolved around one man at the cost of everyone else. But WWE's biggest challenge wasn't just Cena's dominance, it was what happened when Cena wasn't around, because when he left, WWE had no idea what to do next. By the mid-2010s, John Cena's role in WWE started to change. After carrying the company for a decade, he began making fewer appearances in order to pursue opportunities in Hollywood. It started small, guest roles on TV shows and minor movie roles. But by 2015, it was clear Cena was following the path of The Rock. This was a huge problem for WWE. For years, the company had been built entirely around Cena. He was the top guy, the go-to main eventer, and the one who carried the biggest storylines. WWE had spent so long relying on Cena that they failed to create a true successor. So when Cena stepped away, WWE was left scrambling. They tried multiple times to create a new face of WWE, but every attempt ran into problems. CM Punk became wildly popular, but WWE never fully committed to him as their #1 guy. Frustrated with the company, he walked out. Daniel Bryan, fans adored him, but injuries forced him to retire just as he reached his peak. Roman Reigns, WWE handpicked him as Cena's replacement, but fans rejected him hard, feeling like he was being forced on them. For years, WWE struggled to find the next Cena. Ratings declined, merchandise sales dropped, and the absence of a true mainstream star hurt the company's overall appeal. WWE had built a one-man empire around Cena, but now their empire was crumbling without him. Cena still made occasional returns, boosting ratings whenever he appeared, proving just how dependent WWE still was on him. But this wasn't just a case of WWE missing their top guy. It was a sign of how deeply Cena had the company in a chokehold. WWE didn't just rely on Cena, they were trapped by him. Even when he wasn't around, his presence loomed over the company, and every attempt to move forward led them right back to him. But with WWE now under new leadership, Cena's role is finally shifting. The company is no longer built around him, and for the first time in over a decade, WWE doesn't need Cena to survive. But Cena wasn't just a wrestling star anymore. He was becoming a Hollywood megastar, and as his career exploded, WWE's grip on him started slipping, or so they thought, because even after stepping away, Cena's influence over WWE never really ended. Unlike The Rock, who left WWE entirely to focus on Hollywood, Cena never fully disappeared. He reduced his wrestling schedule, but every time WWE needed a ratings boost, Cena was their emergency button. Viewership was down, cool Cena. Merch sales slowing, cool Cena. WrestleMania missing star power, cool Cena. And every time he returned, WWE's numbers spiked. Whether it was his 2016 feud with AJ Styles, his Money in the Bank 2021 comeback against Roman Reigns, or his more recent appearances, Cena always moved the needle. But this created a bigger problem, because WWE never found a true successor. They were stuck in Cena's shadow. They tried replacing him with Roman Reigns, but for years, fans rejected Reigns the same way they rejected SuperCena. The company still pushed Reigns no matter what, but instead of allowing him to forge his own path, they tried to mold him into Cena 2.0, a move that backfired. WWE's over-reliance on Cena's formula led to a creative standstill. Even the structure of WWE's storytelling remained stuck in the Cena era. Predictable baby faces, villains who rarely won, and a PG-friendly environment designed around Cena's old role. Even today, Cena's influence is still felt. Every time WWE struggles, rumors immediately swirl about a Cena comeback. And despite now being a part-time special attraction, he still holds power over the company's success. But with WWE now under new leadership, is Cena's grip on the company finally loosening, or will WWE always be trapped in his shadow? For over 10 years, WWE was trapped in a cycle of dependence. Every time the company struggled, they called Cena back. He was the safety net, the guaranteed draw, the wrestler they could always rely on when business dipped. But now, things are different. Cena's retirement tour marks the official end of WWE's reliance on him. Unlike in previous years, WWE isn't calling him back to save the company. They are finally allowing him to say goodbye. Even his rare heel turn in 2025 is proof of WWE's changing direction. For years, WWE refused to turn Cena heel because he was too valuable as a hero. Now, with the company moving forward, they finally gave him the freedom to break character because WWE no longer needs him to protect the brand, and this time, there's no going back. Under Triple H's leadership, WWE has successfully built a new generation of stars. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and others have stepped into the spotlight. Unlike before, there is no pressure for Cena to return, no creative gap waiting for him to fill. After a decade of dominance, the hostage situation is finally over. But even though Cena's grip on WWE has faded, his influence will never disappear. The company is still shaped by the structure built around him, the PG era, the rise of mainstream-friendly superstars, and the formula that defined his career. Love him or hate him, John Cena changed WWE forever. And even as he leaves, WWE will always carry the fingerprints of the man who once held it hostage.